Hey, my name is Matt Hodson. I'm going to make buffalo cauliflower wings or bites. So first you need cauliflower, obviously, and buffalo sauce. So I'm using Frank's RedHot Wings buffalo sauce. Whole wheat flour. You can use gluten-free flour if you want to, like chickpea flour. And bread. I'm using Ezekiel bread. You could use gluten-free bread if you want. So the first step is to toast 6 pieces of bread in a preheated oven at 300 degrees. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to put the 6 pieces of bread directly on the rack, and I'm going to let that toast for about 15 minutes. While the bread is toasting, I'm going to take a knife and take the cauliflower and make cauliflower florets. Basically, I'm going to get all the green stuff off and then use the knife to separate them and then make them like bite-sized pieces. So this is kind of hard to show on camera, but that's what I'm doing right now. So I got the leaves off. Now I'm going to get the bottom part off. I got the bottom part off, so I'm going to take a knife and just get under there and try to separate the pieces. Like that. So that's a pretty big piece. What I'm going to do is cut it in half to make it more of a bite-sized piece. Like that. So however big you want them. I got the cauliflower florets ready. So they are in bite-sized pieces, just like that. So now I'm going to move on to the next step. It's been about 15 minutes. So there is the toasted Ezekiel bread. And what I'm going to do is just take them out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to crumble these into a food processor. Before I process them, I'm going to put some onion powder in there. Just estimating just as much as you want. This is optional. Garlic powder. You want to make sure they're pretty breadcrumby-ish, and it is. Maybe just a little bit more. Just pulse it. Alrighty then, breadcrumbs. I'm going to put the breadcrumbs in a big bowl. So there's that. In another big mixing bowl, I'm going to put 1 cup of the flour in and 1 cup of water in. And I'm going to stir that up. I'm going to put the cauliflower in the batter. So get all that in there. And I'm going to stir that up, get it all over the cauliflower. Tad bit more water because it's just a little too thick. And stir that up, get all the cauliflower coated. I got the cauliflower battered, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take cauliflower 1 or 2 at a time and put it in the breadcrumbs and make sure to cover it and just coat it with the breadcrumbs. And I'm going to put that on a cookie sheet, and I'm just going to line them all up and get them all on there. So you can even do a couple at a time if you want to speed up the process. Put those on the cookie sheet. or baking dish or whatever you're going to put them on. There's the next two. And I'm using foil. Some people use the non-stick mats, but just whatever you can use to bake them on. I have all the cauliflower done. It is battered and breaded and ready to go in the oven at 450. So there's the cauliflower. I'm going to put it in the oven at 450 for about 20 minutes. And it's going to get crispy on the outside. And then we will coat it in the buffalo sauce. It's been about 20 minutes. I'm going to take them out. And you can see that they're crispy on the outside. So I'm just going to put them in a bowl. I started to do this part and then I realized it wasn't recording, so I'm going to go ahead and do it a little bit more. So I'm just taking the buffalo sauce and putting it on top of the cauliflower. You can use as much as you want. The more you use, the more saucy it is. So I'm just getting them nice and coated. They're already pretty coated. Just take them and put them back on the sheet. You can see that they're nice and coated. So I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick. I got them all back on the pan, so they are ready to put back in the oven for another 20 minutes. Back in the oven for another 20 minutes, and then they will be done. It's been about 20 minutes. I'm going to turn the stove off and take the cauliflower out. And there you have it. That dried it out a little bit again. So I'm going to brush it with more buffalo sauce, just to make it look more buffalo-y-ish for the picture. Alright, so there they are. That is the finished product. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. They're done. Buffalo cauliflower wings or bites. I've had this a few times before, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. That is good. It's got a nice, kind of meaty, kind of chewy texture. Go ahead and bite into one here. You can see it's white on the inside still, and it's got a nice buffalo kind of hot, spicy kick to it. So that's it. That's how you make cauliflower wings or bites. You just coat cauliflower in the flour water mixture, coat them in the breadcrumbs, bake for 20 minutes, then coat them in the buffalo sauce, or an alternative is to use barbecue sauce and hot sauce, and then bake for another 20 minutes, and that's it. So it's pretty simple, it's pretty easy. This cauliflower version is a nice alternative to buying fake meat. It's more of a whole food, kind of minimally processed, I guess. And it's a low-fat, plant-based recipe. So that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.